Part of righteousness for him namesake. Yea! Though I RASTA go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Who prepare the table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Who anointed I head with no oil, me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. May I go dwell in the house of the Lord God Jah. Kadamawe gromabea tela e. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High Jah shall therein abide under the shadow of the Almighty. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it, and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks. How mauso bolisa adanu wato e was clear for. Agbeno heavy, megba fumato. Watanyu moe o you wala don. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power. In my name, Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking, ingredients of so many different types, shapes and sizes, aromas and even flavors. Abandon and relegate to the background all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some good amount of heating. In the aftermath, they produce food. Ironically, this food is not even eaten or enjoyed by the black pot, or the ingredients is enjoyed by us, the eaters. Yet every time, without much ado, that collaborative effort between the black pot and the ingredients would always happen to rise to the occasion in producing food that they do not even participate in enjoying. What lesson can we derive from this? Very simple. It's a lesson of selflessness. It's a lesson of generational thinking. It is a lesson of sacrifice. Any nation that does not have the spirit of sacrifice is not a nation, is an empty box. Nobody is bigger than the truth. My brother, my sister, until we train ourselves to be patriotic, until we inject into our veins, yes, the DNA of patriotism, our nation would only be an empty box with no loyalty. And any king who has no loyalty is a naked king. Trust me. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo. And here we don't ever criticize. We only criticize once. And the only time we criticize is when we are criticizing to build and never to destroy. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. We are the voice of the people. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. At this juncture, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you and we love you. Oh my God, have mercy. We are live on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Black Empire Media. Black is spelled B-L-A-K-K. And we are also live on Facebook. And our Facebook channel is Black Empire Media. Same way. Now, within the month, we are going to be going live also on TikTok. So you will be taking and we'll be talking, or we will talk and you will take. It's going to be interesting. Make a date and do not ever be late. The message must spread far and near. This is the broadcasting network of the Black Empire Media. And my name, Black Rasta. Now, I want to give an opportunity to those who want to travel abroad on vacation. Maybe you want to go to Togo. Maybe you want to go to New Zealand. Maybe you want to go to South Africa. Maybe Morocco, Algeria, or even Swaziland. Maybe you want to go to America. You want to go to England. You want probably to go to the UK, Canada, Australia. or the Schengen states. No problem. Now, a lot of you are not able to travel because the paperwork is just too much for you. It's boring. A lot of you are not able to travel because you don't know the route. A lot of you do not know how to even get to your destination and really enjoy yourself. Prudent Workforce will advise you as to which destination you would enjoy most. And you will never run out of money because Prudent Network would make sure that you find a job to do. They find you a job, and then you work and make money wherever you are going for your vacation to finance your vacation so you can even bring some home and then you can invest in the motherland. The good thing about Prudent Workforce is you'll be taught how to save so that you can bring money home and help with the economy. And that helps to build our economy even better when we all individualize the prominence of the economy. What is Black Rasta talking about? Be the change that you want to see. And Prudent Workforce will make sure that you get a visa, you get a free airline ticket, and free accommodation wherever you are going. All you need is the passport size photograph of yourself and then the bio page photocopy of your passport. And then the last thing you will need is a bank statement. Forget about how much you have in the bank statement, whether it's 0 Ghana cedis or 1 Ghana cedi, no problem at all. The most important thing is that you have a bank account. Maybe a lot of your money will be wired into it so you can save good enough, and when you return home, you can start some business. But you must know a certain skill so that when you travel, you can work at the same time, maybe in America, in Canada, in the UK, in Australia, maybe in South Africa, in Guyana, maybe even in Morocco or Algeria, South Africa, and even Swaziland, wherever you want to go. The champions are Prudent Workforce. Now, interesting news is that with Prudent, they give you free accommodation. They give you a free airline ticket. They get you your visa and help you to get a job wherever you're going. Be it in Canada, be it in the UK, be it in Australia, Schengen, no problem. You know what to do now? Call them right now. They will tell you how they can give you all these things. And their office is located right there inside Medina at the taxi rank next to the EcoBank. It can't hide. Whatever problem you have, you can always go there. The office has been there for several years. So it's not something that can hide. That is where it is. And it is that point that you can always find them. Pick up the numbers and call them. And Prudent Workforce is here to stay. What kind of work do you do? What kind of skill do you have? Are you a plumber? Are you a mechanic? Maybe you are a welder. Maybe you are a roofer. Maybe a painter. Maybe you are even an artist. Maybe you are a teacher. Maybe you are a singer. Maybe you are even a bricklayer or a cleaner or a driver. Oh, or a specialist cutlass man. You can weed. Hey, whatever skill you have, Prudent Workforce is here to make your holidays abroad very, very beautiful. Anywhere you want to go around the world, even in Ghana, wherever you want to go, Prudent Workforce can advise you properly and take you to locations and venues that will tick and talk with your excitement. These are the numbers. Pick them up and call Prudent Workforce right now. Well, my name is Black Rasta. I want to say thank you so much for coming along. Come here, my youth. Now, today we have 5 interesting stories to share with you as usual. And we're going to be snappy with this because these days we can't even predict the doomso. Number 1, watch it. Hey! Now, the very first story we are looking at today is rolling on the screen, and it says, businessman who tried bribing Parliament identified by OSP, Office of the Special Prosecutor. Who is the Special Prosecutor? Mr. Kisi Ejabeng. He's celebrating his 43rd year on earth. He's a young man by several standards. He has tried as much as possible to be able to fight corruption. Maybe those who put him in that office just wanted him to pretend to be fighting corruption. But he went in there and truly decided to fight corruption. Now it came out that, the man had demanded some things to help him with his work. And some of them were so nauseous, military-style vehicles. And we all wondered. But it came out that, he was not being wasteful. In fact, there were several attempts on his life as the special prosecutor. 5 times we were told. Many have debunked this and called it a certain fictitious story. Some even say it's an Anansi story. But he who feels it knows it. This is Kisi Ejabing. Now, interestingly, a few months back, the majority leader in Parliament told the whole Ghana that there was a man who had come all the way to the Parliament House of Ghana. And he sought to bribe parliamentarians so that they would impeach and kick out the finance minister who was abysmally performing. We all remember when the finance minister was being sought after, not because he was competent, but because they were looking for his head right there on the chopping board so they could just go shh. And we were told by the majority leader in Parliament that there was a businessman who had come to the Parliament House of Ghana, and he came with a bag of cash and was ready to bribe parliamentarians so that that agenda could be dealt with. They wanted to remove the finance minister because he was destroying the economy of this nation. He realized that the fastest way to do that was through bribery. We heard about it, and we all asked why they couldn't bring out the name of this guy. We also asked why they were not investigating the issue, so we will get to know exactly who was in there. But the name of this guy, the businessman, who had gone in there to try to bribe the parliamentarians, is out. Many people thought that it was McDan. McDan quickly came out and said, no, I never went there to bribe anybody. Is it McDan? Is it not McDan? Who could this businessman be? Is he that patriotic and wants Ghana to prosper? And for that matter, whatever it would take, including bribes, he would pay in order to get the finance minister, so very, very, very incompetent, out of the way. Now the special prosecutor has spoken. He's written a very long letter from the office of the special prosecutor with the seal right there. And it's interesting. What date is that? Watch it. He wrote and he circulated it. And what is contained in this? He even signed it. This is the statement. This is the press statement that has been released and is embarrassing. He says, introduction. The Office of the Special Prosecutor presents this report on an investigation into alleged attempted bribery of the majority caucus of the Parliament of Ghana. Now, the report has been heavily redacted to safeguard national security and to protect the privacy of persons investigated and interviewed. The report is founded on regulation, blah, 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 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. That's operations, regulations, blah, 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 which mandate the OSP to publish detected acts of corruption through the receipt, collection, or collation of reports, documents, materials, complaints, allegations, information, and intelligence. Now, this is it. The majority caucus. Now, the majority caucus of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic comprises 137 members of Parliament of the governing New Patriotic Party, the NPP, and 1 independent member of Parliament. And what was the complaint? Watch this. By a complaint dated the 3rd of November 2022, a pressure group, Occupy Ghana, petitioned the OSP to investigate allegations of attempted bribery of the majority caucus of Parliament by a wealthy businessman. Occupy Ghana stated that it had followed media reports from interviews by Joy 99.7 FM, a radio station operating from Accra, with the Member of Parliament for Swami constituency in the Ashanti region and majority leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Mr. Osei Che Mensah Bonso. Yes, We will find his photograph so you can see exactly who he is. He's a very thick, tall man with a bald head, very handsome, bald-headed man. And the member of parliament for Asante Achim North constituency in the Ashanti region, Mr. Andy Kwame Appiah-Kubi, in which the two members of parliament alleged that an unnamed wealthy businessman had attempted to bribe a section of the majority caucus of parliament. Dash it away. Now, this is the story we are talking about. And the OSP has put his seal on it and his signature right at the end of this thing to authenticate everything, as you can see here. This is Kisia Jabing, the special prosecutor of the Republic of Ghana, and is dated the 28th of December 2023. But there's a problem. Is he going to reveal the name of the businessman? Are we going to have a successful arraignment before the courts? This alleged businessman, this is the majority leader in parliament. He was the first to allege that the businessman came there to bribe his caucus, the majority caucus. Now, Ghana Web has the full story. And we're going to find out the intricacies, the underpinnings and the undertones of this story in political gymnastics. Oh my God have mercy. Watch this. OSP identifies businessman who tried to bribe Ofori-Atta MPs. Ofori-Atta MPs. Did you hear that? He tried to bribe Ofori-Atta MPs. Now let's get deeper into it and see. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has indicated that it has identified the businessman who was accused of attempting to bribe majority caucus members of parliament who were demanding that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo sacks his finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, in a redacted report signed by the Special Prosecutor Kisia Jabing, copied to Ghana Web, the OSP, however, indicated that it cannot go on with the criminal prosecution of the said businessman whose name it withheld because of the lack of collaboration. Yes, collaboration by the new Patriotic Party MPs. Did you see that? Now, the OSP particularly bemoaned the lack of cooperation of the member of parliament for Asante Achim North, Andy Kwame Appiah-Kubi, who is described as the main accuser in his probe. Now, the OSP is almost convinced that Mr. XXXXXX is the businessman who attempted to offer to a section of the majority caucus of parliament with the intention of influencing their demand for the resignation or removal of Mr. Ofori-Atta as Minister for Finance. It appears to the OSP that Mr. Appiah-Kubi is the accuser and the vital key to resolving the case. Mr. Appiah-Kubi's refusal to cooperate with the investigation and his refusal to disclose the identity of the suspect are most regrettable. It is quite perplexing for a member of parliament to level accusations of attempted bribery on a person, whether certain or uncertain, in a most spectacular and public manner on a network of a major media house, and then stage a bizarre volte-face by refusing to cooperate with the investigation and refusing to disclose and or confirm the identity of the suspect. Part of the report reads. Bring me the photograph of Kwame Andy Kubi. The photograph of the other man, not Oseiche Mensah-Bonsu. The other man, Kwame Andy Appiah-Kubi. My brother, I'm glad that Ghanaians are seeing the death, the rot of the so-called honorables. They are only honorables in the parliament. Outside the parliament, a lot of them are exceptionally dirty. This is the face of the traitor. A traitor of the nation. This guy here. His morose face like somebody who has been dropped in hot oil. When I talk like this, I talk with passion. You came out in a Rambo style, so dramatically, accusing somebody who came to bribe you guys as to whether to continue to sack the finance minister or bribe you to back down so that the finance minister could stay. Right now, it's not even so clear. We are only told that the man came in to bribe those who wanted the man out. As to whether they were trying to be, bribed so that they could push it harder, or they were being bribed to back down. We have not been told that categorically. But whatever it is, a bribe is a bribe. This is an honorable. He represents a certain constituency. The people voted him into power because they believed that he will fight their cause in parliament. Yes, he will fight their cause in parliament and make sure that they get at least comfortable. But he goes to the parliament house. On radio, he is quick to announce to the whole world in a dramatic style, Rambo style, that there was a businessman who came trying to bribe the majority caucus in parliament. Now they are not even very, very clear with the bribery. Did he come to bribe them so that they will push the thing more and get the finance minister out? Or they came to bribe them so they would back down? We are not told categorically. Today you read that, oh, they came to bribe them to back down. Another time you read that they actually came to bribe them so that they would push it more. The majority speaker in parliament talked about it as well. Now from this report, at least he has cooperated. They've been able to find the name of this businessman. But this Apia Kubi man is not ready to do that. And they want us to call them honorables. Traitors of the nation like this, I have no respect for them. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how much money you control. It doesn't matter how many people support you. That is why I have my own head seated on my own neck. And I can think for myself. I don't need anybody to think for me. These are the people who are traitors of the nation. According to the special prosecutor, in a dramatic fashion, you were quick to release grammar on radio. How somebody came to bribe you. Now they have come to you in the interest of the nation to help with investigations. You all of a sudden have become a tortoise. You can't move. You are too slow. And when they push you, you say, no, you are not cooperating. These guys are traitors. I wish I could use harsher words than traitors. But this is 2024. I've decided to hold back on some of those arsenals. It's terrible. Apia Kubi, bow down your head in shame. You are not deserving of the title honorable. Now, according to the OSP, you are a traitor. You are not ready to support Ghana to rise. And I will stand on this platform and label you a traitor until you change your mind for the interest of this nation. It is this way we need to speak to traitors like this so that they can change their minds and help the nation grow. Or else we will run around in circles every time. Go round, and nothing is going to change in this country. We don't want that. These guys are already getting old. We are also following them. Before we realize they are in their graves. And then they will grow a nation of traitors. We don't want that. Things have to change. Now, bring the OSP here. Now, the OSP is now on full fire. Kisie Jabing. He has been labeled as a wasteful person. And for that matter, as Ghanaians will say, do before you die. He knows that his tenure of office may be expiring soon. But now, and I am glad, he's standing on the 2 feet of patriotism. Ghana first. He will do his work, and if they fire him, that is it. He is now at the crossroads with the party in power. That brought him in there. They are already firing salvos at him. My brother, my sister, we are told 5 assassination attempts on his life. Today the man says, I was investigating this, but this is the person who is not allowing the investigation to go on. Under normal circumstances, Ghanaians will not even say this. I like the way he's exposing some of these traitors. And I am glad that when we continue doing this, Ghana shall have a leeway to prosperity. Until then, my brother, my sister, Mr. Kisie Jabing, it is time for you to fire more. It is time for you to be able to expose people. Now, our law is an ass. It's a donkey that has been castrated. My brother, it's a donkey that cannot even climb a hill. It's a cheap donkey. The Dogombes have a saying, and I want to fling it out right now. The proverb that says that Allah bung budur zwale. In other words, a cheap donkey is unable to climb a hill. Our laws have been made so cheap. Colonial laws have found their ways into our laws here, bequeathed to us several years ago, and a lot of them are still lingering in there and making a mockery of our democracy. My brother, a man can allege, and when you ask him to prove, he goes around behaving like an ostrich. No, he's refusing to. If I was the one, they would have dragged me to the Parliament House and showed me power. Panga. You have to talk. You were the one who alleged. Talk. But when it comes to them, the law is different. My brother, it's like an animal farm. 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. My brother, my sister, we are all equal before the law, but some are more equal before the law than others. It's an animal farm. It's a shame. Kisie Jabing, keep on with the fire. We are behind you. Make sure you expose all these dirty people in government. And continue with the fire. It doesn't matter who is president. It doesn't matter who is in power. Ghana is in power, and Ghana must be looked up for good. It's the black pot, a.k.a. Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. Dash it away, my youth. You were quick to say people came to bribe you. Nobody forced you. You were not under duress. You said people came to bribe you. Now it's time to walk the talk. And then you go limp like impotent. It's sad. I am so incensed. I am so on fire. It's sad. Next story, my youth. Watch this. Hey! He says, watch it. He says, TEMA motorway now 10 lane in reconstruction. TEMA motorway was built 2 years before Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. It was built in 1964. 1966, Nkrumah was overthrown. Come here! You think so you dey wise. Nkrumah broke his back and built this. The inauguration came. A BBC journalist was standing there. And he shook his head and said, what a motorway. You look at it and it's almost like the one in London. The M1 in London. The difference is that you can stand here for hours before one car comes passing. In those days, they criticized Nkrumah. They said he was overly ambitious. What technically is called inordinate ambition. To have built a motorway like that when there were few cars in the country. He was a visionary. You do not wait until the rain starts to fall before you go buying an umbrella. That was what Nkrumah did as a visionary. Now we have overused the motorway. 1964 when it was made. 1966 Nkrumah was overthrown. And when Nkrumah addressed us on the Christmas of 1966, he mentioned the motorway and said it was a heavy investment. And that the fools got him out of power. But they would regret it. Today they are regretting it. They have never been able to have a visionary like him again. Look at the motorway. Today is drawn all kinds of maps. All over. This probably is a Portuguese map. When you go forward, you see the African map. You move forward, you see gullies, you see erosion. Those of you who study geography and you have never seen a plateau, you have never ever even seen real or gully erosion. When you go on this motorway, you will see all kinds of landforms. Those of you who studied physical geography, what kind of a landform is this? Is it a gully? What is it? Or is it a map? Now you go deeper into it and you will even see iron rods coming out as if to say, come here and see. I will bust your ties. Every now and then when you move on this motorway, thieves have made it their hub. They know that cars cannot run on this stretch. So what do? They wait there patiently and trap unsuspecting patrons of the road and rob them every now and then. Even KKD was robbed here one time. I was also robbed there once some years back. My brother, this is the Ghana motorway. So when I read it today, that it is heaving a sigh of relief, I said, hallelujah. Kwame Nkrumah will smile at this and say, oh gosh, watch this. Come here, you think so you day wise. Reconstruction and expansion of Accra TEMA motorway begins. And you can see people there reconstructing. And they are doing what? Building it. Now, the reconstruction and expansion of the Accra TEMA motorway started on Tuesday, yesterday. The 19.5 kilometer project is a 10-lane span from the Tetekwashi roundabout to the TEMA roundabout. Now, the project is being supervised by Maripoma Enterprise Limited, a Ghanaian-owned construction company. Hallelujah. Some time ago, it's been supervised by Rodriguez International, based in Portugal, or Tiporotita, based in Italy. You will hear names that you cannot pronounce. At least they are domesticating it. This is what we've been preaching. It's what we've been preaching. A Ghanaian enterprise is the one that is supervising this. Does it not call for a clap? Whether you like Nana Akufo-Addo or not, it's all about Ghana. And if Ghana is heaving a sigh of relief, we must applaud. But watch this. Mr. Kwesi Amoakwata, Minister of Roads and Highway, announced this during a tour of road projects in Accra. Now, the minister and his team visited the ongoing drainage projects at TEMA Community 11 and 12 and TEMA Motorway Expansion Project. Mr. Amoakwata said the Accra TEMA Motorway project was the first phase of the expansion project. Now, the second project is from Tetekwashi to Apenkwa, while the third phase spans from Apenkwa to Neoplan. He assured Ghanaians that work on the project will be executed with speed and urged institutions which had erected billboards on the road to remove them as soon as possible. The minister said the country would witness a revolution, a road revolution in 2024, this year, characterized by the commissioning of completed projects. Mr. Amoakwata was impressed with the ongoing drainage work at communities 11 and 12 and commended the contractor for the good work done. He urged contractors to engage the community before the start of any project to ensure effective cooperation, since most of the projects normally inconvenience the residents. You need to put a human face to the work. You do by briefing them about the project to enable them to plan adequately on how and where to park their vehicles. He said he commended the contractor for repairing most of the slabs in the area to pave the way for the residents to have access to their houses. I'm sure they wanted to say slabs, not slaps, slabs. Now, the minister advised contractors and engineers to do quality work, stressing that any construction company that did shoddy work will face the law. That's it. Do you have the photo of Mr. Amoakwata? That is the man. This was the man who said, "You are late. You have been sleeping. We have been building the roads long before. If you have not seen any of the roads, then you have been sleeping. You have to wake up now." This was the man who said that. This was the man who told the president that they had done how many kilometers of roads. And when people checked, they said probably it's from here to China. My brother, my sister, they came trying to explain. Today, I'm going to limit it to the TEMA motorway. In fact, when it comes to TEMA motorway, I am so passionate. Number one, because Nkrumah built it out of a vision. After building it, we still did not spare him. We overthrew him and disgraced him in exile. Watch this. Now, Mr. Amoakwata has not told us how long this project is going to take. He said in 2024, there will be a revolution. He says it's going to be a 10-lane motorway. How many lanes do we have there now? Do you know? How many lanes do we have on the motorway right now? Is it 4? Do we have enough space to add the other ones on both flanks? How many houses are going to be dismantled? Now you are talking about billboards. How about houses? Will you destroy houses? Because the motorway is full of housing developments. Are we going to destroy them, dismantle them, or we wait until the last hour and then we start chasing them away? And then we come into the media and say, yes, we would have completed this thing, but people are not ready to move and all that. Again, may I ask, come here. Why are you doing it in an election year? Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Muhammad did that, commander, sugar factory. Went to India and collected a loan. Started building it. He knew he was not going to be able to finish it. And he still decided to build it. Hoping that it would be one of the projects that they would use to blackmail Ghanaians to vote them back into power. This is what politicians do. They bring a major project in the election year to blackmail. This is blackmail. If you vote us into power, we will complete it. If you don't vote us into power, it shall stall. And for the history of our dirty politics, no political party continues with the work of the previous one. They say they have their own plans. Such dirty politicians. It's sad. That's why I said, if Mahama happens to be president again, he must do things differently. Ghana first. It doesn't matter who started it. Let's investigate and see what materials were used to build the road. If they are inferior, let people go to jail. They will pay for the thing and still go to jail. And we are not joking. My brother, it's been so long since they stole from Ghanaians. We are embarrassing Ghanaians abroad. I travel a lot. And when I go to America and see Ghanaians, I say, na ye kromo ebe yeni. Ye nyina ye bon kokra o. Da ben ebe kofie. Na kofie na light kra enye adwuma. Ena we enye adwuma, ena we enye adwuma. Uti news na ube kase. Bossu ebe yeni. My brother, a lot of Ghanaians abroad are so embarrassed they don't even want to identify as Ghanaians. And they are even better than Nigerians. A lot of Nigerians are overly embarrassed. They say they are Ghanaians. I was in Nigeria the other day, and a Nigerian lady came up to me and asked me, is it true that when they are going to put off the lights in Ghana, they announce? I said, of course, that's just human. It's not an achievement. You are supposed to let us know that the lights would go off at this time, power will go off at this time, because we have to plan. We have used a lot of money to buy gadgets. Don't behave like in the animal kingdom and switch off anything and destroy my things and you don't even pay me back. There are businesses that are running. You collapse the businesses when you give us erratic power supply. Say, hey, then Ghana na America. I said, what are you talking about? As we're talking, we had light out and generators were on. All over. Nigeria is the noisiest country in the world. And the noise is made from Moluwe and generator. Every house has at least 2 generators in Nigeria. Why? Look at the amount of oil you produce in Nigeria and you can't even keep a straight power supply. Are you crazy or you are mad? What's wrong with you? Nigeria is such a rich country. Afrobeat has even helped Nigeria and put Nigeria higher on the map than the riches you have in Nigeria. It's crazy, dirty, greedy leaders who are stealing the money night and day. And yet they have even voted a former drug lord as president. As to whether that is true or not is unto you. Are you Nigerians not embarrassed enough to walk to the seat of government and say, yes, we are those who own the power? Can the army and the police not all come together and say, yo, Mr. President, we need to have the country run good. We are tired with excuses. Things have to work. Because when police and soldiers and the military and the rest all come together to support corrupt leaders, the nation will never move ahead. But when they are threatened that the military is with the people, and that's what it's supposed to be, the military, the police, the rest of them, they are all supposed to be security apparatus. They're all supposed to be with the people, not with dirty dictators. Why are you building the motorway in an election year? To blackmail us, Abi? What kind of materials are they using to build the motorway? Put it out. We need to know. Tell us that when Nkrumah built it, he used this material and that material. In the days, it was the best, but now technology has made it possible for us to even bring superior material. And this is what we are using for the motorway. So that we will know beforehand. So that when you leave power, we can go and test it. Our geodetic engineers will go there and check that and tell us whether you use the right materials there or not. We are fed up with you building roads, and anytime it rains even 0.001 inches, bam, the roads start to erode as if it was raining acid. What's wrong with you? They do not have any respect for the nation. They only have some respect for their pockets. They are fools. It is only a fool, my brother, who doesn't look at a bigger picture, but he rather looks at his parochial interest. My brother, it is so shameful. In this country, we are busily treating symptoms when we should be treating the main disease, and the main disease is corruption. 6 March comes, Independence Day, you all go and sing all the patriotic songs, and then your politicians clap and stand and salute and pretend in a dramatic fashion that they love the country. Right after you have marched past, they go back and continue with the pilfering and the looting. What a nation. You go to South Africa, it's developed. You go to Algeria, it's developed. That's why they look down on us. The Algerians do not even want to be called Africans. Moroccans do not want to be called Africans because they do not want to be associated with the corruption canker. You are too corrupt. They wonder who created you. When I was in school and I studied religion, I was told that God created everybody. But now I know that Satan also created some people. Come here. Write it down. I said, when I was in school studying religion, I was told that God created everybody. But now, as an adult, I know that Satan also had his turn to create some people. They are the corrupt ones. They are the dangerous economic witches who want to be called wizards of our nation. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. It's the black pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo, Ghana, shall prosper. When we return, we shall be reading your comments. Please remember to share the broadcast. Remember to comment. We shall read your comments. When we return, more fire. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show.
This is the Black Pot, aka Coco Shodomo, and here we speak truth to power. Nobody is bigger than the truth. It's all about the bigger picture, Ghana. Run the story, my youth. Watch it, my lord. See it. It says, Ghanaians resort to saving in US dollars. In Nigeria, it says dollars. Come here. Ghanaians resort to saving in US dollars. And who is saying this? KPMG is one of the stalwarts of statistics in this country. KPMG is a private enterprise. Oh my God. Ghanaians tend to saving in foreign currency to protect investments. And this is a KPMG survey. Run it, my youth. It says what? A report conducted by KPMG has revealed a high number of shifts in the savings culture of some Ghanaians geared towards saving the value of their incomes. According to the report, double-digit inflation and depreciation of the cedi have escalated living costs, particularly in essential areas such as food, housing, and transportation. However, a debt restructuring initiative crucial for securing an IMF bailout led to reduced confidence amongst local investors following losses incurred by bondholders. Bosu, do you understand that? Do you? It simply means that at a point, there was so much inflation in the country. If you had 5 Ghana cedis and that could buy you a ball of kenke, now you went there to buy the kenke and they tell you that you have to double it before you get that same ball of kenke a few days back. It means there's inflation. So Ghanaians decided to go for the dollar. It happened in Zimbabwe when I was in Zimbabwe on the invitation of Robert Mugabe. Rest in peace. My brother, that's what I'm talking about. Patriotism thrown to the dogs because of dirty leaders. I'm wondering if Americans, when there's inflation and the Ghana cedi is rising, I'm wondering if Americans will prioritize the cedi in America, even in those circumstances. It's sad. It's sad. That is what KPMG is saying. Moreover, listen, a debt restructuring initiative crucial for securing an IMF bailout. IMF said, before we will give you any loans, we need you to do debt restructuring. You owe so much. Do A, B, C, D, E, F. And they went ahead, including making bondholders for the first time in the history of our nation lose their money. Who are bondholders? These are people who have given their monies to the government to do business. And government promises them that because of the bonds you bought from us, at this time, we will give you back your money plus interest. When we were in school, economics class, they told us that bonds, government bonds, are the safest forms of investment. Not in Nana Akufo-Addo's government. Bondholders, were given unprofessional haircuts. Some had Top Your Joe. Some had a boy. Some had Oko Tiger. My God. Some who were not lucky, they had Sakura Konse. Shining in this hot African sun, their brains started sizzling. Mpate, 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 mpate. Some died. The same thing that they gaslighted Nam 14, they did the same thing so criminally. I want to break it down so you understand it better. No big technical terms. You buy bonds, shares from the government, and things like that. When it's time to pay, You go there and say, because the country is going down, we cannot pay you. You get your money after 12 years. Say, yeah. What 12 years? I bought this thing for 6 months so that I'll get something to buy my medicine. I am sick. I have diabetes. I have a heart problem. I even have coccidiosis. So, but the nation first. We can't pay you. Okay, well, I'm going home. I will not come back. Because when I go home, I'll die. That was what some of the old men, bondholders, told the government. Come here, my youth. Some of the old men told the government, I should come back here after 12 years. I am 78. 12 years' time, I will be 90 if I am still alive. I have diabetes. I have heart problems. At the same time, my lungs are all finished. My kidney, I'm using some tube and what. They said, please, we cannot make you an exception. Sorry. It's okay. I'm going home. I shall not come. When 12 years comes, do whatever you want with my money. But God shall watch upon all of us. A lot of them went home and died. I saw some old man crying on social media. And he said, and he touched me that day, I wept. I'm just trying to restrain myself so I don't weep. You know what the old man said? He said, we as young men worked very hard for the integrity of this nation. To put this nation where it's supposed to be. If for nothing at all, you cannot say thank you. You shouldn't rob us of our savings. A lot of them went out there to picket. Kai. OALP, uncle. So, interestingly, inflation and those other people who saw bondholders being treated like that, they said they will not buy government bonds anymore. You know what they did? They bought American dollars and they kept crossed their legs, smoking bonto and waiting for the American dollar to rise so they will go and change. It's better than the bonds. And our national currency started dancing horizontal. Coco Blakk caught it and it went down. Finally, they got the IMF bailout. My brother, the IMF has never solved the economic problems of any country in the world. Yet our leaders still need a little drop of common sense to be able to run away from this. Hallelujah. Give me the statistics. Go ahead. You will see how Ghanaians are spending their money. Watch this. Now, according to the report, these are the top 5 spending categories in Ghana. We spend 62% of our income on food, 40% on transportation. And look at the next thing. 35% on savings and investments. Those who are working on. 34% on power utilities. And watch this well. You see, sometimes we have to break the statistics down for people to understand. If you are spending 35% as your savings and investment, 35% of your money, and you spend almost that same amount to buy power, hey, are we safe? The same amount of money you are saving is what you are using to buy power. It means power is expensive. Now, family obligations. Maybe you have a little boy in school. Maybe you have an old woman you have to take to 33%. But the younger boys and girls, how do they also spend their monies? Do you know? Bring me more statistics. My brother, when you read it further, the younger ones spend more money on data for internet. Data. Data has become extremely expensive in Ghana. All the networks have increased the amount of data. When I was in Nigeria, I couldn't even use data. Overly expensive. Watch, similar to their Nigerian counterparts, the research revealed the spending patterns of individuals aged between 18 and 25, indicating significant allocations to categories such as food, airtime, and data. Dash it. 18 and 25. It's all about data. After food is data. They don't think about power. They don't think about savings. They don't think about transportation. Data. So they can go on TikTok and watch big buttocks. So they can go on TikTok and see who has the biggest breast. So they can go on TikTok and they'll be taught the latest sex styles and positions. Kama Sutra. They don't go to TikTok to learn how to fly a plane. They don't go to TikTok to learn how to manufacture a nail. They go there to learn how to make their penises longer and stronger. Bura Matale. My son got admission into one of these schools. And I went into that school and I saw a spoilt boy. And if you saw him, you knew this was a spoilt boy. The mother was there. Mother, if you are delaying me, I want to go home. I don't want to go to. We are delaying. They are delaying me. I don't like that. I'm even hungry. And it was 7 o'clock in the morning. And the mother said, but you had your breakfast. But I'm hungry. If I'm hungry, shouldn't I say it? You should look at the body. He was a male, but he had breasts. Puffy breasts like that. The stomach was like the Atlantic Ocean. And he was chastising the mother. Mother, then give me your phone. I want to browse. The mother gave him the phone. And something told me after 5 minutes, just go and behave badly. Look at what he is watching. My brother, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. When I went closer and pretended I was looking, he didn't even see me. He was so engrossed in what he was doing. He was looking at natural ingredients to increase the size of. And you are just 15. What do you want a big for? Are you going to fry it and eat with your food or what? What are you using it for? At 15, all you need it for is to pee. After you have peed, go and sleep. You are looking for natural ingredients to increase the size of your thing at 15. I had given my boy a small phone, Yam. I quickly seized it and put it. Because these days, technology can make them change the yam into plantain and browse. I won't risk it. I put it in my pocket as when you come home, you will use it. Why? Ghanaians are resorting to saving in dollars. If we had patriotism, no matter what, we will support our city. We will never run after the American dollar. Hey! That's how it is. But no, the smallest problem, we are running out and we are looking for help outside. Patriotism. 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 Ah, Jesus have mercy. I wish they knew. It's a blackboard. When we return, we shall be reading your messages. Send them coming in. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show, man.
It's the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonemo. And here we speak truth to power. All right? Let's look at some of your comments. Asuma Bandawan says, we thank you, Black Rasta, for yet another beautiful lecture. Legendary Black Rasta and the crew. Wayoy. Sufyan Suleimana says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Kaifa haluk ya Sufyan? He says, Black Rasta, I send you greetings and salutations. I accept your greetings and salutations, and I ask you in Arabic. Kaifa haluk ya Sufyan? Sufyan Suleimana comes back to say, greetings to Osaje Duabil. I always like and appreciate how you pronounce his name. Much blessings. Ibrahim Ibro says, bless up Black Rasta. Humanitarianism at its best. Wow. All right. And then Muhammad Banjia 1, a.k.a. MC Scorpion from Ashaiman says, might not be fully part of the live session today, but we are together in spirit, and I will monitor as soon as I arrive safely home. More fire, Mbele. Come here, warrior. Well, make sure that you share the broadcast. Paul Skimo says, greetings, Black Rasta. Ibrahim Tairu says, my dedicated Assalamu alaikum to my one and only role model. He always speaks truth to power, and I love him. Thank you. Francis Ampim says, no one is bigger than the truth. Black, Jah guide you and your crew. It's all about Ghana first. Wayo. All right. Now, Francis Ampim says, wayo. All right, we read it. Sweet Papito says, greetings to the whole Black Empire media and a happy new year. Allah bless you, legendary. Unfortunately, the year didn't start so great for me and my wife. Please, King, pray for us. Whatever the problem that you have had at the start of this, yes, the starting is not as important as the ending. I pray that the Almighty Father will see you through. He knows you more than you yourself. He knows your problem. There's no need mentioning the problem, but the Lord knows it already, and everything shall be done. Blessed. Sweet Papito says, we have been admitted in Accra, okay, at a medical center, and they are taking good care of her. I don't know why government officials always travel out for medical care whilst we have good hospitals here. Well, you shall be well. When you come out, please let us know so we can thank God on your behalf or with you. Accra Medical Center is a first-class health center. And, of course, he wants to see people go there. Guidance. And to Accra Health Center, I want to say, blessed love, you have praises, and it means that you should continue with a good job. Guidance. One in the boy says, good evening, Black. Paul Skibo says, Black Rasta is disheartening to witness our nation endowed with abundant mineral resources facing so many challenges. Paul Skimo says, leveraging lithium mining has the potential to transform lives, fostering unity with the diaspora for a brighter future. Yet it's not been done because of greedy leaders. Alaji Bunyurbu Shalisavologo says, good evening, Black Rasta, watching you live. Greet Honorable Alaji A.B.A. Fuseni, MP for Standargo for me. Alaji Bunyurbu Shalisavologo. Niko Ngmoro Mana. Wayo. Ni Pakpo Ado says more fire. And youngster Ali says patriotism is an indispensable weapon in the defense of civilization against barbarism. More fire. Blessed. Alaji bin Yurbu Shalisa Vologo says, Black Rasta, may God bless you. May God bless you too, my brother. Nabia Wunichar says, whoa, wow. And Yaba Ayenime says, I will make sure I advise my offerings never to vote for the offerings of Nana and Baulaya. To God be the glory. This is the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonamo. And here we speak truth to power. Next story. Watch the next story. Prophet Badu Kobi descends angrily on NPP. Prophet Badu Kobi, Emmanuel Badu Kobi, is a prophet, a Christian prophet of God. I met him several times. He loves me. Last year he called me and said, Black RASTA, where do you get your energy from? I said, it's the same source you get your prophecies from. The Most High God. The passion to see our nation grow. He said, I am going to reward you before the year ends. I'm still waiting for the reward. Maybe the reward is prayer. Maybe he said it already. But this is a man who has given so many cars to so many different people. I truly love him. Honestly, I love him. Car or without car. I love him. Canada Japan talked about him and talked about how he dodged a lot of taxes. And even his spiritual father, Reverend Isaac Owusu-Bempah, my schoolmate, descended on him some time ago and said he committed murder and buried somebody in his church compound. In fact, out of anger and all that. But I want to believe that they are good now and everything is good. But that was a serious allegation which the police should have investigated. Badu Kobi has gone through a lot. And this year, at the 31st night, he decided to vent his spleen on the government using unprintable words. He prophesied that Bawumia will not be president and that the NPP will leave the seat and that a new party will take over the government. He was so full of venom. A frustrated man. Politically frustrated man. He's been frustrated politically. He said he prayed for Nana Akufo-Addo before. But they do not even respect the prophetic. Ghana Web says, wicked people, cursed government. Watch Badu Kobi's full attack on Akufo-Addo. And it's a 2-hour thing. We can't play everything. Prophet Emmanuel Badu Kobi has made doom pronouncements about the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo led government. According to the founder of the Glorious Wave Church International, the government is anything but blessed, and they are headed to opposition after the 2024 general election. Badu Kobi, in pronouncements made during the 31st night, watch night service, stressed that the government had exposed its wicked and thuggish nature by targeting him over the years for speaking against it. He said, despite the attacks, he remained resolute in exposing the government and ensuring they end up in opposition at all costs. Wow. This government, they are getting out of power. Nonsense. The only government that comes to power and politicians must take men of God to radio and TV to destroy them. This is the only government, Akufo-Addo's government. God will punish them. They are going out of power in 2024. They thought they could bring me down. They can't do anything. They will rather go down one after the other. They are going out of power. If they thought of stealing it, the stealing would work, he added. On Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia's bid to succeed Akufo-Addo after 2024, he declared, I won't mind them. They will go down. All the stolen monies, they will vomit. We fear no one. I have been a pastor longer than you have been president. I am saying it on social media. Bawumia will not win. Your end is coming. Bawumia, you will not win the vote. You are going home. You plan to rig. It won't work. We are done with 31st. I will now start prophesying. You are disrespectful. Small boys with power, he stressed. That's it. Did I say more? In fact, it is in this regime that journalists have gone through hell. Men of God have gone through hell. Citizens have gone through hell. Businesses have gone through hell. Banks have gone through hell. And they blame it on COVID. They say, oh, the first time was okay. Everything was okay. We're all good. Today, my brother, my sister, Badu Kobi has spoken. I won't add a word. Next story. Now the next story is on a sad note. Very sad note. Auntie MUNI WAAKYE could not wait for the elections to be over so she could heave a sigh of relief. Just a few months back, we did a story on Auntie MUNI WAAKYE. This was a woman that I knew personally. From when I was 4, I knew Auntie MUNI WAAKYE. Everywhere she saw me, she would call me. She was very close to one of my uncles. In fact, I'm speaking tongue in cheek. She became the most popular WAAKYE seller. And WAAKYE in Jamaica is called rice and peas. I think in England it's also called rice and peas. This is the vice president, Mahmoud Bawumia, who speaks the same language as Auntie MUNI WAAKYE, going to buy WAAKYE from the woman. And when the price was mentioned, he said, "Hey, why is it so expensive?" Because your government made it so. Auntie MUNI WAAKYE came all the way from Tamale. I knew her house. I knew her so well. She relocated to Accra because of family issues. And she helped a family member to start some business. She already had a business in Tamale. She was making bankun. I remember bankun. You know how Tamale bankun is. It's like stone. It's like kinky. Very hard. Because you need... Auntie MUNI WAAKYE, today I'm really sad. I am sad. She became the most popular WAAKYE seller in the whole world. She should have gone into the Guinness Book of Records. Maybe WAAKYE-athon. She made WAAKYE so attractive to everybody. She started the WAAKYE at home, and she was encouraged by people to come on the streets and sell. Just around Metro TV area, she established her business, and boom, she made money. Yes, she made money. There was a time there was even a poisoning incident, and she was able to weather the storm. Yes, she lost a few customers, but they all returned because she had a way of bringing them back. Today, I'm sad to announce something, but to God be the glory. Famous Ghanaian WAAKYE seller Auntie MUNI is dead. Auntie MUNI, a renowned seller of WAAKYE, a Ghanaian local delicacy made from rice and beans, and often served with vegetable sauce and other accompaniments, has reportedly passed away. According to a news report by AssassinRadio.com, the celebrated WAAKYE seller died today, Wednesday, January the 3rd, 2024, at the University of Ghana Medical Center in Accra after a short illness. Auntie MUNI's son, Arafat, and I know Arafat too very well, who confirmed her demise to Assassin Radio, said that she will be buried in Tamale in the northern region on Wednesday, January the 3rd, in accordance with Islamic traditions. She's been buried already by Muslim traditions. Mommy was sick. She was complaining of pain. So we took her to the SNIT hospital. There were complications. So she asked that we discharge her. When we discharged her, after 2 days, she realized she was still not feeling well. So we rushed her to the University of Ghana Medical Center for medical attention. And this morning at 3 a.m., she passed away. Arafat is quoted to have said on a Sassy breakfast show, she died. The end of every mortal being. But who was Auntie MUNI WAAKYE? Auntie MUNI hails from Tamale in the northern region. She was educated up to middle school, and she moved to Accra a little over 20 years ago after some misunderstanding with her husband. She left her bankun and gari and beans business, which was doing quite well in Tamale, to help her aunt in the WAAKYE business in Accra before eventually taking over. According to her, when she took over, she was operating from home until her customers persuaded her to move out to the roadside where she could be more visible. She disclosed that although her WAAKYE business is largely successful, There were occasional challenges. Auntie Monei recalled that 3 years ago, business was so bad for 6 months that the children advised her to quit. But she remained resolute until it picked up again. Auntie Monei WAAKYE, located at Laboni, is the most popular WAAKYE joint in the world, not in the capital. She once disclosed in an interview that top officials, government officials, including the children of ex-President John Agyekum Kufuor, former President John Dramani Mahama, musicians, top businessmen, and ordinary Ghanaians patronize her meal. But 2 months ago, Auntie Monei said something. Unlike before, things are really hard. She talked about how she was paying her school fees, her children's school fees in dollars, and she was flat. I'm not sure. Within that period, after this short period, she was able to recoup and return. She probably went into her grave with the hardship. The hardship caused by dirty politicians in power. Auntie Monei, we will join you no matter how long. We shall join you. But we thank you for making WAAKYE so popular. We thank you for demonstrating that you could do it and empowering women. Rest in peace. In the Muslim parlance, we say, Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Dash. It's been the Black Pot, a.k.a. Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. Let's look at your final messages, and we are done for the day. All right? It looks like time will not permit us to take any more messages, but whatever it is, we want to appreciate you and want to say thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. On that sad note, Wayo!